All right, welcome everybody to our Wednesday night Zoom call. I am so honored and so happy to have my friend Samantha Lacouture, who is going to do training for us tonight. Samantha, thank you so much for making the time to do this for us. It really, really means a lot to me and to all of us. To those of us who have heard you speak before, we really know the value of what you have to say and your time. So I've been trying to figure out how long we've known each other. It's been a couple years, and I've had the opportunity to hear you speak and learn from you, and it's been fantastic.
Almost 3, right?
I'm thinking that we're getting pretty close to that because time's just flying. I think so. Okay, so I just want to let you all know, I just want to share with you a little bit about the amazing Samantha. Samantha is a 3-star Golden Circle with Isagenix. So we've got some newer people on our call here tonight. So I just want to let you know. So that means 3-star means that you are cycling anywhere between 40 and 59 times every single week. And that's what this woman does. And she's also 2-star Crystal Executive, which means that she has helped 2 people on her team reach the rank of Crystal Executive, which is fantastic. She's been featured in Prosper Magazine and recently just taped a podcast for the Isagenix podcast site, so you have to look out for that. She's won many trips with Isagenix, including the ISA Derby and the Welcome Home Challenge, where she got to come out here to Arizona and be a part of the official ribbon cutting ceremony at the new home of Isagenix in Gilbert. She's also a member of the Start 1000, which means that she was part of the first 1,000 Isagenix associates under the age of 35 to hit 6 figures. Amazing. Samantha is a super busy, awesome mom to 2 gorgeous, adorable little girls and her golden doodle pancakes. Which, by the way, Samantha, one of Gracie's little imaginary friends got named Pancakes the other day, and I thought of you. She believes that this business is really simple if you stay accountable to yourself and others on a daily basis. And so she's going to be doing, I'll try to mute that person in a second, but I'm not sure if I can mute and talk at the same time. So if somebody else can, please make sure you're muted. 410-268-1928. Please mute yourself. And so she's going to teach us about how easy, duplicable, and fun the system that her team uses is. And we'll make sure we get you off early, if not on time, so you can go get to that call with Columbia.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm like watching you and watching because it's when you dial in to your Columbia team with corporate Isagenix in Columbia, it's like I don't know another word, like shit show. So it's a little crazy, but you guys should all know that we have amazing support in all the countries. I don't speak Spanish, and I'm going to be talking tonight to 2 different people, one at 10 and one at 11, who speak Spanish and don't speak any English. So I'll be there, but I'm just going to be listening to words I don't understand. So never be afraid to reach out and ask people for referrals. These are referrals for me. So I just had asked a big group of my friends all at the same time, like, hey, I'm really wanting to expand in Colombia. Does anyone know anyone? And 2 different people knew somebody. So it's been really cool connecting with them and getting to know this part of Isagenix. But, you know, people go to work to make this really, really hard. And it is very, very simple. It's not easy. It takes a lot of growth, and you have to be willing to put in the work and be committed to what you said you were going to do long after you really feel like it. But if you stay committed and accountable to yourself, most importantly, and then to your team and to your leaders and to your family and to your why, you can do this. I believe that anyone can do this. And I know a lot of people get up on stage and say that in different, podcasts. I truly believe it because I think it all comes down to growing alongside the business yourself, as well as staying accountable. And there's, in my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, there are 4 things that you need to do every day, either really big or really small, depending on how fast you want to grow. The bigger, the faster you grow. The smaller, the slower you grow. But there's 4 things that are required in this business. And I believe that they're required every day when you're grinding, and we're all grinding, right? None of us have maxed out a center yet. That's when you can lay back and lounge. And so the grind is the foundation part. It's when we're building the foundation. And the foundation, you guys, could be totally all product users, right? You guys all know you can make $1 million in Isagenix. You can max out a center without people doing the business, totally on product users. That would probably take a long time, but it can be done. So this accountability that we've put together, it's not about finding a big fish. It's not about having an international business. It's about daily, consistent action for things that you need to be doing every day to move your business along. And what's really cool about it is that it feels really good because you are doing something every day. I don't know about you, but in the beginning of this business, I felt like I was working so hard. I was putting in the hours, and I grew this business alongside my 40-hour work week while I was nursing a newborn. She wasn't a newborn, but I was still nursing her in the middle of the night. And I had a 3-year-old and a husband who traveled. So my life was really crazy, and I truly had to do this business. And I hate this saying, but in the pockets of my life. In other words, at really random times of the day, sometimes during my lunch break, sometimes at night. And I put in the time and I wasn't seeing results. And I was feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. And I wanted so badly to be enrolling like other people I saw or to be able to be duplicating. And so I had to come up with a system to stay accountable to me because there's only one thing, just one thing that you control in this business. It is the only thing. And that is how many people you say, are you ready to get started to? That is the only thing you're in control of. You're not in control if their wife says no. You're not in control if their dog doesn't like the taste of the shakes. You're not in control if they return. You're in control of nothing but how many times every day, every week, every month, every year, the sentence that comes out of your mouth, it's a closing sentence. Mine is, are you ready to get started today? Which pack sounds the best, chocolate or vanilla, whatever it is. That's the only thing you're in control of. And there's so many things that factor into how many times you say that a day. So we've identified on our team 4 things that really can keep your business center in momentum even through a time like the summer, right? I'm sure you guys have heard or felt like, oh, people are drinking margaritas right now. This isn't the time for cleansing. Everybody's at a cookout. They're in Jamaica. They're at the Bahamas. I don't know if you guys saw the platinum rank advancement today, but Susan Sly and Lynn Hagedorn's business, those people are not drinking margaritas, which means that all of our businesses can be up. In fact, everybody on my team right now is even or up from their numbers in the spring. And that's because we're staying in action. It's not that people are drinking margaritas in the summer, it's that we're not drinking as many margaritas in the summer, right? We're doing what's required every day. So let's take it from the top. The very first thing that's required every day is making new friends, I like to call it, because I like to keep it fun, but other people would call it new contacts, right? And so remember, this is a 4x4 if you're full-time, 1x4 or a 2x4 if you're part-time, okay? So I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end, but the very first thing is new contacts. So every day it's my job to make 4 new friends. Every day. And there's so many ways for you to make new friends, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples of things that we're doing. So one of my most favorite ways is when you go, I don't know, I'm going to actually be like not looking right at the cameras. I have to do it so I can tell you how to do it and you can write it down. But if you go on your Facebook and you click on a friend of yours, so I'm going to click on like someone random here. So I'm just clicking on my friend Angela, and we're friends. We have mutual friends. So now once I click on Angela, I click the little friends tab, and it's going to say like friends, mutual friends, recent friends, friends high school, whatever. But there's a little section that says more. And if you click on it, it says people you may know. And if you click on that, it's people that Angela is friends with that have other friends of mine. So they're people I probably know. This is a really great way to make new friends every day. It's people that you do know somehow you're acquaintance with, but for some reason you guys haven't connected on Facebook. Quick tip though, they only get to count for one of your 4 people if they've accepted your request. So that's why this is an ongoing everyday thing. It's not something you can just do on Fridays and move along your business, right? This is an ongoing thing. So that's one new way. Another great way is visiting a BNI group or joining one, of course. But if you visit one, you can meet a lot of new friends. I meet friends everywhere I go. So if I'm somewhere like the grocery store and I'm in an aisle and I see somebody with a child my child's age, I might connect with them. Another great place if you have young children is birthday parties. I used to hate going to those. Now I'm so excited when Savannah gets invited to a birthday party because I make friends with all the moms. Now remember, for them to count, you have to be able to contact them. They can only be your friend if you can call them or text them or Facebook message them. Another great thing is to go on meetup.com It's a free website. You put in your zip code, put 20-mile radius, and all these different things will come up. I'm actually sitting in a room with someone right now who enrolled somebody from a hiking meetup. So she went on a meetup. There's 10 people hiking, and she friended like 3 or 4 of them, and she's kept in contact with them. And so then she's just starting to enroll them. And she met them all from a meetup. She's not from Connecticut. She's from Maryland. So meetup.com is really great, and it's free. It's totally free. You can join as many meetups as you want. And here's another really cool thing. You can host a meetup to meet new people. So there's a lot of ways to meet new people when you host meetups. But for example, some of you have other careers. You're not full-time Isogenics, and you can do a class. So I think it's $89 for 6 months to own like your meetup.com where you can host. And what's cool is as soon as you host, it goes out to all the people who are registered within a certain mile radius. Your meetup is announced, and you pick keywords like, I do a financial meetup. I'm a financial coach. It's something that I do. I'm passionate about. It's about debt. And so like some of my keywords were money skills, investments, debt, all these things on my meetup. And 4 or 5 different people I didn't know have joined my meetup. And as of yesterday, every single one of them is enrolled on my team. And this has been 5 weeks. It's a 9-week class. So the other thing people do, like I have a realtor on my team who teaches a class on how to like cheaply make your house, prep your house for, sale, right? And so she's meeting all these new people who are going to list their houses, hopefully, but also she's meeting all these new people. These are new friends. So there's so many things that people are interested in. If you go look on Meetup and don't do like a mile radius, you'll get ideas all over the place. There are knitting meetups, there are running meetups, there are kid meetups, there are there was like I saw the other day, like a floral meetup, how to arrange like a florist, like flowers for 4th of July. Like, there's all kinds of things. And if you have any special little skill, there's probably someone somewhere that wants to learn about it. And it's a great way to make new friends. So there's a lot of way to make new contacts. And it's kind of something you have to get into the groove of doing. But imagine just for 1 second, if you and everybody you've enrolled or are going to enroll made 4 new friends a day, just that alone, how powerful that would be for your business. Because at some point you will run out of people to talk to if you're not doing this. And I think that some of us who have been doing this a little while can tell you that feeling like really makes you nervous. And then it takes a long time to catch up. But if you're just going along and doing the do every day from the beginning, those of you who are new, I'm jealous that you're getting this information. I wish someone told me when I started, because I had plateaus in my business because I wasn't doing these 4 things. So that's the first thing. I'm going to check the chat if anyone has any questions on new people. You guys are just chatting. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the second thing. So the second thing that's required every day is follow-up. And follow-up is one of 2 things, right? Sometimes it's easy to desert our new people because we're in momentum with our other stuff, right? And so I go through my new associate checklist and I follow up with people every day. Like, hey, looks like you probably cleansed Tuesday, Wednesday. How did that go? Or if I notice that they're not they're not posting. We have a product group and a business group. If they're not posting in the groups, I might reach out to them. And I do a 4x4. So I do 2 reach outs to existing users and 2 to follow up. So this week I'm doing like hundreds because I'm like, hey, it's $25 coupon week, but I'm following up. You said July would be a good time. I just wanted to reach out to you because gosh, there's a great coupon. I don't know about you, but I love a good sale, right? I keep it fun. It's not like, hey, are you ready to get started? It's chatting and then following up, but I'm reminded to follow up every day with people. Follow-up is, the fortune's in the follow-up. I don't know how long some of you guys have been doing this, but there will come a time where you will walk into someone at an event that you didn't follow up with. And that's one of the last times you won't follow up with people, but that sucks, right? And I don't know if anyone knows who Jackson Parr is. He maxed out a business center in Isogenics in 10 months, he's the fastest to ever max out a center. He's in Start as well. He's under 35. Really cool dude. He's from Australia. But his story is pretty crazy because he had someone who had wanted him to do Isogenics for a very long time, years. And they finally kind of stopped talking to him about it. And he enrolled with a trainer that he met a year later. And then that person who's still in Isogenics had to watch this kid, he's not even 30 yet, max out a center in 10 months. Imagine that lesson. It's a good one, right? But you don't want to have it like that. I actually just enrolled someone a couple of weeks ago. Her name was Teresa. I followed back up with her. Her and I went to high school together. Hadn't seen or talked to her in 16 years. And I just sent her a message and we connected. And how are you? What's going on? She's up in the Boston area. So we're both still on the East Coast. And I said, hey, I'd really love to tell you about what I'm up to. I think you might be interested. And if you're not, maybe you know somebody who is. That's something I use a lot, by the way. And she said, sure. And we started talking. She goes, oh my gosh, is this Isogenics? And I said, yeah, do you know about Isogenics? And she said, these people who wrote my insurance maybe 4 or 5 years ago gave me this magazine. Let me find it. And I hear her like in drawers, like opening stuff. And she's like, it's called, and she takes it out. She's like, it's called Prosper Magazine. And she's like, it's about Isogenics. And I've been saving it. I've been thinking about it recently. It's so weird you called me. And I said, do you remember who that was? Because I was just curious. And she said, no, I don't even remember their name. They never called me again, but they left me all samples and a magazine. I'm like, what? They left you stuff and never called you? Like, crazy, right? And had they followed up with her, my guess would be she would have enrolled years ago. This just kind of happened, right? So think about follow-up like that, like almost feel urgency around it, because it's important that people know. And you guys, sometimes people don't know what they don't know. They'll message you and be like, hey, by the way, I started Isogenics. You're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, they didn't understand it's a business, right? Sometimes people think this is a hobby. And so it's important when you're kind of conversing with people that you say, hey, when you're ready, I can't wait to be the one to coach you. Our community is so amazing. I'm so amazing. I've coached this many people or whatever. Feel free to really give it to them, because each one of us has special things in our coaching that does set us apart. Isogenics is amazing, but all of us are special too. And you want to let people know what's special about you. What do you bring to the table, so that somewhere down the road, some chick 16 years ago calls you from high school that you haven't talked to and have no connection with, that you go back and you enroll with the person who spent time with you and took out a magazine and samples, right? So just make sure that you're really not selling yourself short as you're conversing. And some of that comes with confidence and time. And so I share these stories so you start feeling a little confident about making it known that you're serious. This is serious, and I want to be the one to help you. Okay, it's really important. So the third thing, and probably the hardest for me, and by the way, you guys, the best part about this accountability piece that I'm teaching you guys is that it shows you where you need to work. And that's what I love about it. As a coach, if you have a big team, people come to you a lot, even if you have a small team, and they'll say, I'm putting in the time, but it's not happening. And I say, take a picture of your last 30 days of this. Let me see. And I'll be able to tell you exactly what you haven't been doing, right? So the third thing is looks. And I'm going to qualify what looks are. But basically, it's a time where you or someone else, a third party, has said to the prospect, are you ready to get started today? So the 4 things on our team that qualify for a look, and your leaders can maybe add some things as well, would be a 3-way call, which is something that our entire team does. And I still enroll people on 3-way calls. The second thing would be bringing someone to a launch party, because whoever does the launch is going to do a close, right? The third thing would be if you use any type of webinar or open conference calls. And then the fourth thing would be a one-on-one sit down where you did close, where you said, now that I presented this information, are you ready to get started today? Right? So closing statement, I kind of have said that a couple times. One of the takeaways I hope you take from this is, if this isn't a hobby for you, this is serious, one of the first things you do have to do is get comfortable with closing. It's kind of like follow-up. The fortune's in the close, because people will put it off because they're not confident in themselves. It has nothing to do with you. When people say no, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to them, right? But they can't even say no if you don't ask. So you've got to ask them for the business. So my close is, are you ready to get started today? But I've heard so many other people do all different ones. My mentor, she's a millionaire in Isogenics. She uses, would you like to get started with chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry today? So there's a lot of different closes, and you got to do what feels comfortable for you. One of my top leaders says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about taking your health to where you deserve it to be? And when they say like an 8, 9, or 10, basically, or 8 or above, she says, okay, which pack sounded the best to you? right? So you got to feel it out, feel what feels good for you. Like my husband closes with like, so you ready? Like whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong, right? But you've got to close. You got to get authentic with the close. So looks, for them to count on this list, the person has to show up and you have to close. So if for some reason you don't get to the close, then it didn't count. Now, let me give you an example. I had a look 2 days ago, and the person said they were a 9 out of 10. Someone was doing a 3-way call with me, and but she needed more information to just check with her doctor about something. And so I counted that as a look. We closed, but she didn't say yes. So it doesn't have to be an enrollment. It's just someone taking a serious look. Okay, that's the third thing. And just a couple quick tips on the look side. So if you have somebody who, if you have people who you're having trouble getting to looks, there's a couple tips that I have for you concerning that. So a lot of times people, like we just said, they don't understand that, they don't understand, first of all, how amazing this is. Like, let's start there. But secondly, they don't really understand that, like, this is your schedule and this is your business time and you're trying to help them. And so some of the things that really helped me get more looks out of my prospects was really kind of taking a more serious approach when I contacted them. So I would say things, it would sound like this. Hey, I know you've kind of been on the fence about jumping on board my nutritional cleansing program. I wanted to update you on what's been going on for me. So for the past 3 years, not only have I kept off the 15 pounds that I lost, my husband's kept off his 30, but I've really never felt this good. And I'm feeling like younger and younger. And this is one of the first summers I really felt comfortable in a bathing suit in a long, long time. And it's given me back my confidence and my zest for life. I want you to feel this way. We've got to talk. What would work better, tonight or tomorrow night for you? Right? So I really bring it in at the end to nailing down 2 times. Someone can't mistake that for you wanting to, they know you want to get on the phone with them, right? Does that make sense? Another way that you can go about it is just saying to someone, hey, this may or may not be for you. And I'm not sure until we chat for a couple of minutes, but I'm pretty sure you could help me. And you've always been such a great friend, or you have always had such a big network, or, compliment them and just say, I just want to get on the phone so I can pick your brain. I say that a lot. Let's just get on the phone. I got to pick your brain. I have a couple questions to ask you. And then when I get on the phone, I just say, listen, I am fired up about what is going on in the company I'm partnered with. I don't know if it's for you. It's health and wellness, residual income. Does any of that sound good? If they say yay or, I move forward. If they say no, not really, I'm really happy. I'm like, all right, who do you know? Who do you know that's a go-getter? Who do you know that's hungry? Who do you know that wants to be home with their kids? Who do you know that's tired? Who do you know that's burnout, right? So you got to be able to move people to the looks. And those are some of the things that have helped me move people to looks as I've kind of gotten more serious and kind of figured out my way in the business. I'm just going to check this chat again really quick. You guys are still chatting. Yeah, okay. So does anyone have any, yes, I know it's not Tara, but Jennifer's right. You never count anybody out. I enroll people all the time. I enroll people that are like, hey, I've been watching you, and they've never even liked or commented on anything in 3 years. What kind of friend are you? But anyway, so does anyone have any questions about looks at all? You can just hit me up in the bottom if you do.
Samantha, I'll try to keep you posted if there's something in particular that people are asking.
Okay, good, because I can't read and talk. Okay. Yeah. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Okay, and then the fourth thing, which is the thing I find the easiest, and it's you got to be happy while you're doing this, so you got to be in gratitude. So 4 times every day, I really keep track of my gratitude, and it can be really small, you guys. It can be, I did a little campaign, a little postcard campaign a couple months ago, just to thank people who have been ordering with me for 3 years. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary, and there were like 18 people that came in with me in my first 6 months that are still ordering. And gosh, if like Williams Sonoma sent me a postcard about all the crap I bought, I think that was pretty cool. But they don't, right? But we can provide that type of service because our back office allows us to run reports and things like that. So that's gratitude. But it can be smaller. It can be a text message. Hey, I'm really proud of you. You've done back-to-back 30 days. That's amazing. It could be just a note. I had someone's dog die on my team today. That's so sad, right? So I sent them a little note with some brownies. But very isogenics, I know, but I really love the brownies that Send Out Cards has. I can't help myself. So there's all kinds of gratitude and love you can send people. And I always think, oh my gosh, what if everybody on my team just loved everybody on their team every day? Like how wonderful would that be? What kind of community would that create? What kind of momentum would that create? People are unhappy. They're unhappy with their finances. They're unhappy with with their jobs. They're unhappy with their marriages. They're unhappy with all kinds of things. And sometimes their Isogenics family is one of their only happy spots, right? And so if we can even make them feel happier or more, that we're more thankful for them or in more gratitude, how amazing is that? So every day for people, and it can be as small as just, hey, I'm really proud of you for sticking with it. I know it's harder in the summer. I know you're saying no to stuff. Or it could be as big as sending some gifts. I love to send gifts. It's like my favorite thing in the world. And it's fun, right? People just love to get stuff. And then you get tagged in it and people on your, see your brand as being in contribution and love for your team. I look really rough in this video. Like, are we going to publish this? This is, so sorry, just keeping it real. It's been a long day. I have 2 kids and Camp Lockature, that's my last name. That's what's going on up in here. So anyway, so what kind of gratitude can you be in? And it's funny because, so this is what it looks like. This is my day today. I still have some work to do. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but so I just write, it's really simple. So it doesn't even matter if you can't see it, but if you look at the top, so I just put the date. I had some stuff. I had your little call here, so I remembered. And then here is my new contacts. I had 4 people accept, and then that's my follow-up. So far I've had 1 look today, but I have 2 more tonight. And then this is my gratitude. I only sent Liz Heck or something because her dog, but I have 3 more and I'll do those. I always do those. And it's cool because I use all kinds of different books and I have them for every day of my life in Isogenics. And my team does too. And so I think what I love most about this accountability is there's 3 things. So first of all, the first and most important thing is that it shows you, because you're only accountable to yourself. At the end of the day, you've got to do it, right? And it shows you where you have gaps. And guess what? Whenever I covered a section that made you like, that's the one that's going to have the least done, because that's the one you don't like, right? So probably looks are the harder one. But I have a lot of my team who have trouble with following up, who really realized they weren't following up with anyone. They were just kind of doing the looks, right? Or people who just noticed they weren't really in gratitude a lot. And so that they had to really look at that and gosh, why is that? And, am I kind of gritting through this? Because sometimes we do that, right, leaders? But how can I love a little bit more? So it allows you to do that. The second thing is this not the coolest thing if you had an accountability partner? I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of failed accountability stuff going on in my first year of Isogenics because you don't know what to talk about when you get on the phone. You're like, oh, hey, are you doing stuff? Yeah, I worked 8 hours. And it's like, but you're not really, nobody really, I can't enroll anyone. Ends up being like a bitch session, or your accountability partner isn't, but gosh, when you just text each other this, game over. Everybody knows who's doing something and who's not. And as a leader, whether you have 2 people or 2,000 people, you can really dig into this with your top 10, top 20, or everybody if you have some time for developing and say okay, I challenge you to get it all filled out for a week. And if you get it all filled out for a week, you and I can go do something special, or I'll get you a gift certificate to this. I base a lot of awards on this and not matching PIBs for the leaders on the team, on the call. I don't do a lot of money matching. I don't do a lot of that. I do a lot of stuff based on this because this is what people can control, right? This is the only thing people can control is what they do. And if they're going to put in the work, dinner on me. So I do a lot of my recognition through this. And then the other recognition, it comes because if they're doing this long enough, they feel good. This is the first summer that my team is up. And it feels good that they're all doing really well because people start to panic in the summer, and there's no need to panic. There is lots of people drinking shakes here in Connecticut. So there are people drinking shakes where you guys are too. So, and then third, if you guys have a business group or a 90-day game plan group, we post this every day. at the start of every morning at 6:30, I post mine empty to show everybody. And then my team posts it throughout the day. And that tells me two things. Number one, who I'm working with. And that's big. And I tell everybody, I love you. I love everybody. And I do. You don't even know, you guys. I lose sleep over people, okay? I love them. I've dragged them for 3 years because I love them so much. I'm just dragging them right to it. But I was exhausted from doing that. And it burns you out. But people who post this, I feel very comfortable that I'm matching my energy with their energy, right? And number two, it shows momentum on the team. Imagine just for a minute that 15 people were doing this every day, just 15. And some of you have well more than 15 people. Can you imagine if 15 people were doing this every day on your team for 30 days, what would happen? I can tell you because my cycles are doubling and starting to triple. It's amazing. And I've been doing this for a long time, but I wasn't teaching anybody to do it because I felt like, oh, it might be overwhelming or it might be too much. But so just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a 4x4. It can be a 1x4. It can be a 2x4. And I tell people, don't start off somewhere. I'm plugging in, sorry. Don't start off somewhere that feels really, oh my God. It's amazing that I've made any money in Isogenics. I can't even figure out where my plug is right now, you guys. Hold on. Okay. It's just been a real game changer, the accountability piece, because I always knew you had to be accountable and consistent, right? We all know that, but I didn't know how to track it for myself or my team. And so when we started doing this as a team, we're starting to see massive momentum and we're starting to really see people understanding what it takes. Because I think, can you guys probably agree that sometimes people will go to you and go, okay, I'm ready. And I have my list and my schedule because those are the first two things everybody does. And then now what? And you're like, okay, well, go talk to people. Get 10 people on the phone. Do this, do that. But what if they did this from day one, right? What if they did some sort of, and this is just my version, you guys can change it up, some sort of, accountability daily. What if you had 3 leaders that you did this with for 90 days? Just that would be powerful, right? Would you guys agree? So we're just having a blast with it. So much fun. And for those of you who maybe are on and don't have a leader that is active or feels like they don't have a team, even though you're on this team, maybe they're not sure who they would be accountable to. I think that, your leaders are amazing. So I know that they can hook up, but you can do this accountability with anybody. Like my biggest pet peeve is whiners. I'm on an inside leg. I am 0-0 every day, left and right. Okay. I am enrolled to a millionaire, but I was enrolled on an inside. And that's something I don't share with everyone because it's not really relevant. But I found cross-line friends to do this kind of stuff with before my team was here. So let's just say you don't have a connection to someone specifically, or you have a cross-line friend who's like, oh, I wish I could do that. You can do this with anybody. You can do this with anybody. You can do it with me. You can do this with anybody. This type of accountability you can do, like my dog, he's here right here. I could show him every day. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you're really, truly accountable is your dreams, is yourself, right? So I think I saw some questions, so let me take them. I have about 10 minutes here.
Did you see where they were, Samantha?
Okay, so I have so many looks that end up with financial reasons. How do you get past? Okay, so my personal opinion about this is that it's 99.9% an excuse. And typically, if you get a financial reason, you didn't get to the why. So what I always encourage people to do is ask more questions. And here, let me give you an example. So if you do a call with someone who has a lot of weight to lose, and just remember, this is scary. This is not a new makeup remover, okay? This is a journey that someone has to take. In their mind, they have to give up a lot, and this stuff isn't going to taste good in their mind, okay? Because they've done a lot of stuff. So you have to always go into it knowing that this is scary to them, even though we know this is like the best thing ever, right? But let's just say somebody says, I have 50 pounds to lose, and you say, okay, I can help you. We've had a lot of people lose 50 pounds, and you go through your call, you share your story, the third party shares the story, you get to the end, you present the packs, and they say, all right, let me talk to my husband. And then you follow up and they say, you know what, financially right now, this is a no-go. What if you would have said, tell me what that 50 pounds feels like for you. Tell me what your life would be like if you didn't have that 50 pounds. What would be different? And then she says, I could bend down and play with my son. The pack could be $1,000, you guys. It be $1,000. Because when you go to close and they give you a financial reason, you say, you told me when we first got started that you couldn't bend down and play with your son. Let me show you how to get this pack paid for because you deserve this. Who do you know? Give me 2 people. Let's call them right now. I'll call them right now with you because your son deserves this. That's a very, very different conversation than the first one I had. Would you guys agree? Right? And it's not uncomfortable to ask somebody how it would feel. And if you feel uncomfortable with the weight question, what a lot of people on my team do is say, tell me the size you'd love to be in. What size would you love to be in? Women know, by the way, what size for the guys up here. And so a lot of times they'll say a 4 or a 6. When's the last time you were in a 4 or 6? Oh, it's been 10 years, 8 years. What would it feel like to put on a 4 or 6? What would it feel like? Tell me what it would feel like. Well, it'd feel really good because my class reunions, people start telling you all kinds of crazy crap because my class reunion's coming up and Billy Joe Bob, who turned me down, is going to be there. And then the conversation's really different because then when they can't do it, you say, but your class reunion's coming. Don't you deserve this? How can we do this? What can you sell? Rhonda says that. Rhonda Collier. What can you sell? What can you sell? That's what she says to people. You got a big TV in your house? How important is it? So you really got to work on the questions. The questions, if you ask them correctly, will give you a lot less financial stuff. The other thing, and you may or may not like this answer, but a lot of people who get financial things personally think it's expensive. Okay? They personally feel like it's expensive. And people feel that on the phone. They feel like you think it's expensive. And a lot of times that comes from being very timid when you're presenting. So a couple quick tips on that. Present up to down. So start with the President's Pack or Business Builder Pack and go down to the basic, right? A lot of people present the other way. They'll do the basic first and go up. Go start from the top and go down and feel good about it. If you really feel like that President's Pack's expensive, go watch some Bill Andrews talk about product B for a minute. My dog takes product B, okay? It's not expensive. So, because I love my dog. Has anyone ever seen my dog? He's so cute. So, I'm saying, like, you have to really get real with yourself about how you feel about it too, because a lot of times when people get financial things, they think it's expensive themselves. And so feel it out. Go look and do the math. $2.85. What could you get for $2.85 if you were going to go eat, right? For some people, this is going to save their life. This is not expensive. It's not. But you have to feel that. I could tell you it. Jen could tell you it. I mean, we could all say it, but you have to feel that. So if that's work you need to do, I recommend that being first on your list when we hang up, is to really start putting in some time to do that work, because that work's expensive. I mean, that work's important. And this is not expensive. When I first got started, I came in with a President's Pack, and my husband came in. We came in with one Business Builder and one President's. And it was over $2,000, obviously, when it was all said and done. And there was not 1 second in my mind that I thought it was expensive because I knew it was going to bring me home. So, but that's because Rhonda asked me a lot of questions when she first got started. It wasn't just about the shakes, right? She found my pain. And my pain was that I was missing my daughters growing up. And for some people, their pain is going to be product-based. And for some people, it's going to be business-based. But if you get to that pain and you feel good about the price, you're going to hear a lot less price rejections. I probably hear a price rejection. I call it rejection because they're rejecting themselves. But price objection, 1 out of 20 calls. I mean, I don't hear it very often because I think it's a line of bull, and I don't present it that people wouldn't feel comfortable saying it because I've just talked about how amazing it is. So that would be my few suggestions, Rachel. I hope that helps. And if you have any other questions, you certainly can hit me up. How do I keep track of people for follow-up? That's a good question. Okay, so this is what I do. I'm just going to keep it real here. This is just what I do. I don't know. This is the best thing, okay? But I have a list, has a couple thousand people in there. It's a book. And if I had it right here, I'd open it for you. It has everybody's names. And I highlight them when they're enrolled. And so I go through that book when I'm doing a lot of my follow-up. And I do a lot more than 4 a day. But this is just to keep track as you're starting out. That's a really good question. So I have it in alphabetical order. So I have my assistant redo the book here and there. But yeah, that's how I do it. So like I'll do like that. So every 27 days they get a message, because I do like the A's one day, the B's another day, the C's. Does that make sense? So that's how I do it. I bet there's a better system. I'm just being honest with you about what I do. I think that's good. Well, me too. What does that matter? Yeah, great questions, Jen. Should I encourage them to enroll more people to help cover? Yeah. Okay. So what I say to people, if I'm going to follow back up, is, hey, first of all, I just want to say, I just really appreciate that you took the time to learn about what I'm doing. Really appreciate that. And I think I maybe didn't do a good service to you. And I want to just follow up with a way that you can come in, help other people, and get your products paid for all in the same week. Are you open to hearing about that? And if they were really serious about their health, they will be. And then I just say, all right, who do you think of when I say the word weight loss, the word energy, the word performance? And I have them make a list like on the phone with me of like 10, 15, 20 people. And I say, okay, let's send them, and I give them either a message to send or we do calls together. It kind of depends. And I just go through the list with them. And this is really great, you guys, because if you have someone else's list, by the way, that's really great, because if they decide not to do it or they return it or they don't stay, you can enroll their list. I enroll a lot of people that were other people's people, but they're no longer active or growing. So when you do this with people say, oh my gosh, that takes a lot of time. It does, but they're going to come on your team one way or the other. So where people have maybe said no, somebody's first 10 people said no, and then that person maybe decided this wasn't for them, I've gone back and followed up with those people forever and enrolled them. So it's also a great prospecting tool for you. If somebody decides not to enroll or they don't get the 2 people right away, now you have all those names because you're friends on Facebook with them too. So an example, I just did this yesterday with somebody. She just opened up. I challenged her to open up 20 chats with me on Facebook. And it said, hey, I know that I've told you about this program. I've lost 22 pounds. I feel amazing. I want you to know more. I don't know what I'm doing because I just got started. So I have Samantha on this chat. She's a guru. She's helped thousands of people. And I just wanted her to be able to help. And so I'd be like, hey, where are you from? How are you? How do you know Sisha? And so I would just chat and I'd bring it to a call. And so what that does is that shows her how to do it. It also gives me this person's contact information, because now I'm friending them. So I have 20 new friends, and this person I'm talking about is going to stay. But if she didn't, I'm now connected to all these people. So it's not some list I'm trying to get from her after I'm connected. So it kind of serves as 2 purposes. So that's what I do when I go back and follow up with people. One thing I probably, if I have to give like golden advice, I always say, don't count out the business. I think more people need the business than the products. That's probably totally taboo. Kathy Cooper probably doesn't want me to say that. But honestly, I think that the business, as a young mom myself who was missing, I was missing everything. I was missing everything. Everything. I was missing everything. And this summer is one of the first summers that, I'm not grinding as much in my business. And so I'm just enjoying every moment with my daughters, and they're 3 and 6, and it is priceless. Everybody deserves to have this opportunity and understand what this could be for them. And so don't feel uncomfortable to talk about it, because Rhonda saved my life. She saved my life because she wasn't nervous to tell me about it. I will be in debt to her for my entire life. So I am so thankful that she said yes. And I'm so thankful that she didn't know me. We met on social media, that she felt comfortable enough in her skin and with her business to share the business and the products at the same time. And she didn't wait. She really, really didn't wait. And I'm so thankful for that, because had it been the other way around, I don't know if I'd even be here today. But I'm so glad that she stood in her power for women, in my opinion, in that moment, and for moms, even though she isn't a mom, and gave me this opportunity. So I never worry about sharing the business too early. People always say, when do you share you plus 2, them plus 2? First phone call. I tell everybody the products are amazing, but you know what changed my life? No, it's safe. No, it's safe. No, it's safe. So don't sell yourself short with sharing that part. Tell people how to get their products paid for in the first conversation. If they're not interested, that's fine, but always tell them. More people are interested than you think. That's what I think. I'm going to take one more question. Oh, Jen and I have been friends for a long time. All right, Jen, we have like 1 or 2 more minutes. Is there anything you want to add or talk about?
No, this has been absolutely amazing. And I don't know if everybody else can hear that, but from the people that I can see that are in this chat, and I'm getting private message as well from people that are saying how much they loved it and it's been awesome, which I knew it would be.
Thank you. You guys are sweet. So Jen is friends with me on Facebook, and I'm happy to be friends with anyone. For my team that got on, nice work, guys. But this is something that we coach on and train on. And, you know, Jen, one of the things I would recommend you guys do, and Robin's probably somewhere on here, right? I can't see. Yeah. Is really just focus on maybe having a training call on each segment. So what I did to train everybody is I did 45 minutes on new contacts and different ways people could get and make friends. And then I did 45-minute team call on following up and the different ways to do that with scripting. And then a team call on looks and how that looks and 3-way protocols. And then a team call, which was really fun. We had all our team leaders talk about the different ways they show gratitude. And so when we did the 4-part series, it was really powerful because there's no questions asked anymore. This is what you do every day. And that's it. So it was so nice being with you guys. I wish I had more time. I've got to get to Columbia, and I love all of you. And I just want to leave you with this final thought. It is like a hot mess. I don't even have pants on right now, you guys. If I can do this, you can do it. Okay? Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much, Samantha.
Good job.